you and I, Shadid, both of us are in a few masterminds together. And masterminds back in the, like when I was first, you know, progressing in my life, I thought masterminds were a waste of time. I'll be honest. And the reason I thought it was a waste of time was because I thought I knew all about it. I thought it was just like a bunch of people talking, but it was the exact opposite. Masterminds really did facilitate my growth as a person. How would you recommend that people form a mastermind or go about searching for one?
When we think about masterminds, they've been around since the beginning of time. For example, Jesus and the disciples are an example of a mastermind group. So when we bring things to a, let's say, modern times, and you, the viewer, may be trying to figure out, how do I get to the next level? What you have to realize is the following. You are not the first person to have tried or attempted to get to the next level. Number two, what you're attempting to accomplish is not an original. No idea essentially is original. So there is a proven path and there's a roadmap in order to reach that next level. What a mastermind allows you to do is to leverage the roadmaps of people who have traveled that path before and get the, let's say, the cliff notes and all the mistakes that they've made before you take the first step on that journey. So if you know all the pitfalls, if you see the video game before you play and it says, okay, the alligator's over here, the soldier's over here, the main boss, if you do this combo, you will advance without taking any damage. Your ability to make it through that game of life is much easier, and you take less damage and you enjoy the journey along the way. And that's what masterminds allow you to do. Now, I may have laid that out in a very easy to follow way, but you may think, well, that's not my situation. I'm new to this industry. I'm new to this skill set, and I may be socially awkward. I don't know how to get started. So the first place I would start is locally. I would look at my meetup groups, let's say on meetup.com. Yes, and do a search within 100-mile radius of your particular address. What Meetup will allow you to do, it does use location-based targeting, and do a search for the keywords that are relevant to your particular industry. So if you want to build an online business, if you are into e-commerce, if you're into public speaking, do a search on meetup.com first and find out the groups that exist within your area. For those of you who have no idea what Meetup, meetup.com to you sounds like French. What meetup.com is, it's not just a website. It is the most powerful local-based search engine based on common interests and groups that are relevant to a specific audience. So if you're into, again, online business, using this example, or public speaking, do a search within a 100-mile radius and find the groups that are relevant. Most importantly, contact the organizer. Meetup allows you to contact the organizer directly. State what your interest is within that message to the organizer. So in our previous, let's say, a discussion, we were talking about direct messaging. So you have to send a direct message to that organizer. And if their group is not relevant to what you're trying to do, ask for a referral. Do you know any groups in the area who are who can meet or discuss this particular topic that will help me get to the next level? Next thing you want to do is, so you have the meetup aspect of it. I'm a big believer in daily discipline. So let's say you go to the meetup group and they give you all the information. You have 3 pages worth of notes. That's not enough, because now you have to take those notes, those lessons, and apply it to your actual life. So what you want to do is form your own power circle. So grab the individuals, let's say within your college or within your work center, who have a like-minded focus. This is not for your buddy who, let's say you get together each week and you don't really focus on growing. You find the talented people within your immediate sphere of influence, and you form that group. You form an alliance. You get together outside of a common area, go to a coffee shop, go to a co-working facility, and work on these things together as a group. Because if you work on it, you use the collective power of group energy, and you'll achieve it 10 times faster. Now, when we talk about mastermind groups, what would you say was the biggest shift in your life from, let's think about older Armin in the past, and what was the biggest value that a mastermind group gave to you, or let's say the light bulb moment that went on as a result of being a regular part of one?
Well, I'll give you two examples. So when I was in the College of Engineering, I remember for a long, long time, I would just study by myself. I would take notes by myself. I would eventually follow up with the notes completely by myself. And it would take me around like a few weeks to prepare for one exam. Eventually, one of my friends was like, how come you're always working by yourself? How about you start meeting us up for the study group? And study groups in a certain way are a mastermind. And I started to study with them. And instead of spending like weeks and weeks preparing for an exam, I was able to feel that group energy that you mentioned earlier. And I was able to understand the content much quicker because I had someone to bounce ideas off. So that's number one. I mean, it definitely helped me in my undergrad studies. Now, also when I got into Twitter, being a part of these mastermind groups allowed us to bounce a lot of ideas off of one another. I remember when I was thinking about which email subscriber to use, instead of going on Google and searching like 10 different articles, I just hopped on the mastermind and I asked everyone what their opinion was. So that just was another avenue where it helped me. So not only did it help me in College of Engineering, it helped me in the entrepreneurial lifestyle. And just to add on to your point, you gave a really brilliant strategy on organizing, masterminds in the real world. But another good way to think about it is you can also build masterminds in the digital world. Not sure if you know, but me and Shadid have never met in person. We basically got into contact through Twitter. So I think everyone should have a few masterminds in the real world and also leverage your internet to build the digital assets as well. And that's the thing, Shadid. I feel like Twitter, if you're using it correctly, a few things that should be happening is you should be getting smarter every day and you should be building more connections because all the barricades are removed and you have direct contact to the person.